Egypt, a land of mystery.
I felt, I swear to God, like I'm dancing with all these months.
Spectacular monuments.
We are saving the spirit.
That was pretty cool.
And amazing adventure.
It's fun. You can stay here all your life.
It's a mission to bring a slice of this land back to Indiana.
It's amazing. It will capture the hearts of everyone. Every piece has magic.
The treasures of a boy king and the story of his mysterious death.
We found out he has a fracture.
It is also about sharing ideas.
The top floor, dreaming about the future and knowing that all children are the key to the future.
Including an exclusive interview with the First Lady of Egypt.
I think this is just the beginning of a journey.
Yes, the journey is just getting started. Are you ready?
Follow me and see what will happen.
The Children's Museum is uncrating treasures from ancient Egypt. Hi, I'm Debbie Knox. King Tut, the Golden King, and the great pharaohs have arrived in Indy.
In the next hour, you'll see some of the splendor of that exhibit. Hi, I'm Steve Bray. We also want to show you some of the magic and mystery of a civilization that's been around for more than 5,000 years and introduce you to Egypt today.
That's what this companion exhibit to King Tut is designed to accomplish, for families to experience the sights and sounds of Cairo. It's called Take Me There, Egypt. But for this show, we decided to take you there. We boarded an international flight in New York, and it was clear from the moment we got on the plane that this was going to be a different experience. Along on this journey, a team from the Children's Museum, including Jeff Patchen, president of the museum, Vice President Jennifer Pace Robinson, friend of the museum Wendy Lyons, exhibit developers Tricia O'Connor and Mark Walheimer, and Skip Berry, freelance writer. Our guide on the journey, Egyptologist Fatal Gad. Our crew beside myself, Steve Bray and DeAndre Taylor. An 11-hour flight takes us from New York halfway around the world to Cairo. As soon as we get out on the road, we discover a difference in car travel, where the white lines are merely a suggestion. Amid the horn blowing and general chaos on the streets, we try to pick up on some Arabic while taking in the scenery.
Simple Arabic words like shukran for thank you, and you can say also min fadlak for please. Hello, it is marhaba.
Upon arriving at our hotel, we take in views along the Nile, spectacular perspectives of a city, much quieter from up here. Oh, our final view of the evening? Our next destination.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Sunrise. We are quickly reminded of the unique place we have journeyed to as an Islamic call to prayer echoes across the city. This metropolitan area of Cairo has a population of 18 million. This explosion over the years has threatened this country's ancient relics, monuments that stir a sense of wonder and unexpected emotion. In this high-resolution aerial photography, it's clear that modern Cairo is encroaching on the ancient world. Just on the edge of this metropolis, the Giza Plateau, home to the pyramids and much more. After the Nile was dammed up 30 years ago, the area that once lay in the floodplain of this great river is now dry land. And the building on this land is exploding with the population. The drive to the pyramids changes quickly from modern buildings to surreal views created thousands of years ago. Behind us right here is the Sphinx, and we're getting a view beyond the gates that someone else might not be able to get. But it's unbelievable if you just look ahead of us. The Sphinx on the left, The Great Pyramid on the right. This is it. This is Egypt. Before we can let it all sink in, we rush to an interview with Dr. Zahi Hawass, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities. Now, this is no normal interview location. We step between the paws of the Sphinx, the giant paws of something you've only seen in pictures, something that leaves you speechless. You're standing in front of the Sphinx. Let's start there. I can't tell you, I've lost. It's breathtaking, and you work here every day.
Cry.
I know.
You have clinics? More. No, just go away. Okay. I have a patient now. I don't want anyone. Okay.
Well,
cry more.
No. And I wasn't the only one overrun with emotion.
It's once in a lifetime.
The Sphinx, representing the builder of the second pyramid, Khafre.
Believed to be built around 2500 BC, at nearly 80 yards long and over 20 yards high, the Great Sphinx stands as guardian of the pyramid, built to entomb the pharaoh Khafre.
In the face of a king and a bud of a lion, giving his offering to the sun god. In the new kingdom, the Sphinx became God, and they called him Hor-em-Akhet, means Horus of the horizon.
The condition of the Sphinx has not always been this good. The sands of the desert have been periodically swept to its neck, like in this picture from 1858 and another in 1867. Finally, in 1905, the sands were permanently removed. For centuries, mysteries have surrounded this amazing structure, including its missing nose.
There was a religious man on the 9th century AD. He found out that the Egyptians still worship the Sphinx as a god. He did not like that. He came with a metal and he damaged the nose of the Sphinx to show that this is a stone and not a god.
Also, questions about tunnels within and underneath.
About 6 months ago, the water table began to appear in front of the Sphinx, and I had to drill. Nothing is hidden under the Sphinx.
But something is inside this pyramid. The Great Pyramid is one of these three major structures that make up the Giza Plateau, but there are actually many more. 6 smaller Queen's pyramids are located here, and numerous other tombs and monuments. Each of the large pyramids at one time were encased in a smooth limestone outer coating called casing stones. Khafre's pyramid is the only one where a small portion of that rock is left. An earthquake and various other events are to blame for the lack of stone today. The group of pyramid complexes were built in the 4th dynasty in what's known as the Old Kingdom during the years from around 2600 to 2500 BC. How they were built continues to be debated, with new theories coming out periodically to this day. Everyone from extraterrestrials to slaves are thought to have been the craftsmen.
The most important discovery that I made was the discovery of the tombs of the pyramid builders.
Hawass says that building the pyramid, a tomb for the pharaoh, was a national project that brought millions of Egyptians to the Giza Plateau.
The discovery of the tombs of the pyramid builders near the pyramids can stop completely the theory that slaves built the pyramids, because if they were slaves, they will never be buried beside the pyramid.
But pyramid builders were not all who were buried beside these magnificent structures. Inside this odd-shaped building next to the Great Pyramid, a discovery that explains a lot about how the Egyptians became such a dominant civilization. In 1950, archaeologists discovered this large tomb with these huge stone slabs covering it. In 1954, the first look within this tomb revealed more than a dozen piles of wood, pieces of lumber that make up a very large and very old jigsaw puzzle. Our guide, once again, Egyptologist Fadel Gad.
This is the oldest boat that you have ever seen and you will ever see. This is about 5,000 years old, made from cedar wood And cedar came from Lebanon. It's not in Egypt because Egypt is very rich in stone, but very poor in wood.
The wood may have been found elsewhere, but the ingenuity behind this boat is all Egyptian. There are no nails, no ancient glue that holds together this watercraft that's more than 130 feet long. Rope, strings, all of the more than 1,200 individual pieces together. When lowered into the water, the wood would swell to create an airtight seal in its hull. It was on boats like this that ancient Egyptians acquired wealth. While other civilizations were still carving out trees for canoes, these boats could carry everything from warriors to treasures from distant lands to stone for building monuments. All of those carried on boats along the spine of Egypt's domination in the world, the Nile River. Why was it buried? What a deceased pharaoh needed in the mortal realm would come in handy in the afterlife. Khufu's boat was his means to travel to Ra, the sun god. That's why it's called the solar boat. While that boat was buried outside the pyramid, we're headed inside, and the mystery of Tut: was the boy king murdered?
Tutankhamun, the Golden King and the Great Pharaohs exhibit at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis is made possible by Northern Trust, National Geographic, American Airlines, All Sport, and by General Hotels.